So let's continue with building our framework. And in this video, I'm gonna show you something called JSDocs. I think a lot of people might already know what it is and how to use it. And if not, then follow this video. Well, the idea of JSDocs is to provide the description for our custom functions. If I now go to demo spec and I hover over the visit login page, it basically is not telling me much. Just a typical Cypress code. But what if I want to give it some description? In many cases, for example, it can be definition of parameters which can be passed into the function. Sometimes the functions or custom commands are very complicated, so you can actually give them a description. And to actually do it, for that we have using JSDocs. So let me show you. If you want to create description, we will be doing it here in the interface. So let's say I want to give it a JSDocs for this visit homepage function. I can simply create this, and here I can specify the description. For example, navigate to the homepage of our application and save it. And you might think, okay, if the description is here, well, maybe that's fine, but how is this actually useful? Well, let me show you. Now, if I go back to demo spec and I hover over our visit login page, you will actually see nothing. But if I use homepage, so let's just do it site.visit homepage, and I save it, and I hover over homepage, you can see that there is the description visible. So now if any other developer or tester will open this and he will take a look, okay, there is a custom command or function. What does it do? Well, he can just hover over it and actually read the definition of the function. He can see what arguments can be passed to the function, what it should do, or maybe some warnings or some specific description of the implementation. But that's not all. Thanks to using our interfaces, he can now come here and see, okay, this is the home page. And now if he just hold command and click on the name of the function, it will automatically click through and navigates you directly to the file where this function is defined. I can go back and I can just hold command or control on if you are using Windows and click on the name of the function, and it will just navigate to the file. And if I close it and I do it again, it will open the file and show me where the function is implemented, so I can directly go and see what code is here. So this is the great power of using interfaces, TypeScript and JSDocs. But that's not definitely all. In the next videos, where we'll be actually building more complex functions than just visiting, you will see that we can pass parameters and arguments into this docs as well. But for now, let's just finish our app page for our visit functions. So I'm just gonna give it navigate to the login page of our application, and I'm gonna do the same here. So navigate to the feedback page of our application. Again, these definitions are completely optional. You don't need to use them, but it's a very common and best practice to actually use it, especially if you are working with this app actions framework. So now you can just always use the clicking to the functions. It will always navigate you where the function is created. Again, these are very powerful improvements of Cypress, especially if you are using with or working within the project which has thousands of tests and hundreds of functions. Then this functionality is very important because you don't need to go over the files and looking where the function is defined or what arguments it just needs. You can just hover over it, find the info, then click through it, and you will be straight redirect it to the function, and you can start working with the function. So these are the very good practices, especially when you are working with Cypress. So that was a quick introduction into JSDocs, and in the next video we might start working with more complex custom commands to actually see the power of the AppActions framework in action.